It's a starry night. A party is going full blast in downtown Los Angeles. 6 men leave the party in a very casual way when it is fully ablaze, and they join the party again in the same casual way before it loses its frenzy. The interval between their departure and arrival is only 90 minutes, but what they have done in this short time leaves the FBI and LAPD absolutely baffled. The greatest cash heist of the 20th century has just been pulled off, and that has deprived Dunbar Armored Car Company of $18.9 million US. What is more interesting is the fact that the thieves did greater planning for hiding the cash than they did for stealing it. Romance, revenge, trust, greed, courage, speed, skill, teamwork, all combine in a time-tight play of robbery that has never been witnessed before. Companies like Dunbar ensure the supply of cash to banks and ATMs for facilitating transactions across the country. But Dunbar does not only supply the cash, it also stores the cash for banks who want to shed the risk of theft and robberies. And the amount of cash it stores every day is mind-boggling. And that is why the Dunbar has put a multi-layered defense mechanism in place. Situated in Mateos and downtown Los Angeles, the vault is sheltered in a fortress-like building ringed with barbed wires. The vault has an 18-inch impregnable door with cutting-edge lock powered by an elite alarm system in place. Furthermore, it has bullet-resistant doors to repel even the most aggressive robbers, and the facility is watched by 24/7 surveillance cameras placed at unique points selected by security experts. With high-tech security gadgets and firepower of the security force, the defense is solid enough to defy any assault. But on September 12, 1997, a group of thieves shook the world. They broke into the vault, beat the alarm system, took the hell of money, and fled the place without leaving any evidence. The crew responsible for the heist has never disturbed the law before. The crew's leader, Alan Pace, on the contrary, has always been a tool for preserving law. He had worked as security personnel in different locations and with different companies. Though he had never attempted a crime, his training and experience has made him a potential threat to the same companies he has worked for. At Dunbar, being Regional Safety Inspector, he is entrusted with the maintenance of armoured trucks. Pace sees millions of cash coming in, going out day in, day out. Self-generated thoughts to rob the vault start occurring in his mind, and with each day passing by, his thoughts are coming to the surface with even increasing gravity. You deserve to be a man with a great fortune, is what echoes in his head all the time. Working in the same vault is a girl named Tamiko Carnes. Fallen deeply in love with Pace, has pledged his heart to her. Carnes is not only a source of romance for him, but a promise of a future that he dreams about every minute. One day, Pace comes to know that Carnes has been fired on the suspicion of thefts on the spur of the moment. The news shudders Pace. His love has been disgraced. It pushes him beyond the line. The incident is more than enough and let a grave animosity creep deep between Pace and the management. And now Pace has got something personal to settle. He is bent on revenge. He becomes more determined in his quest to rob the vault. His search for finding gaps in the security becomes more intense and methodical. Tamiko Carnes, who has managed the security equipment of the vault, provides him with some crucial information in breaching the security, and then comes a time when Pace's confidence reaches its zenith. He succeeds in making a foolproof and a perfect roadmap, but he knows it's not the job of a single man. Next, Pace builds a team. He contacts his old friends whom he trusts with his life. The first man he contacts is Eugene Hill. Hill is an old friend of Pace, and both have worked together as security officers in a number of different places, but that was not the job of two people either. So Pace invites 2 more of his best friends to an abandoned park, and there, with the help of a chalk, he draws on the ground a sketch of the vault and shows them the layout of the premises in and out. He then reveals each and every move to get to the vault without being caught by any of the cameras. Every inch of the facility is loaded in Pace's memory. He even knows the angles of the security cameras and the areas that will go unnoticed when the cameras move. A key factor that gives Pace a great advantage is the key in his custody to the exterior gate of the vault. His conviction convinces his comrades. Freddie McCreary Jr. was the next to join hands in the venture. Freddie has been working as a security guard in a church. He has been a friend of Pace since they were 10 years old. The next one is Terry Brown. Brown, seeing the solid plan and a colossal amount of money, simply says, "I'm in." Now there are 4 men on board, But the great score demanded more hands, and that's why they get Thomas Johnson on board. Johnson is already known to the group and has been a trusted friend. He too has the same profession, a security guard. The plan has been finalised. The team practices for months to get in shape. They perfect every single move. Pace reviews his plan one last time and he realises he will need all the 5 men inside the vault, but for driving the truck he will need one more man. They engage another of their friends, Eric Boyd. Boyd has not been the part of training and that's why he is entrusted with driving the U-Haul. They haven't yet fixed a date for their move, and something happens that Pace never expected. Pace receives a call. You are fired for tampering with an armour vehicle. While leaving the company, he has to return the key that is in his custody, but Pace's success substantially depends upon that key. Pace knows he has to use it one last time, and he has to do it soon. The countdown has started. He is running out of time. He immediately calls his comrades. Get ready, guys, it's the time to rock and roll. Hill arranges a rented U-Haul according to the plan. Pace knows that he'll be an immediate suspect after the theft, and that's why he throws a grand party for an alibi and calls a lot of his friends, including his accomplices. It is the night of Friday, September the 12th, 1997, and the party is going full blast. Around 11 p.m, the group casually leaves the party one at a time. They board a car, drive it towards the vault, stash it a few streets down, take the rented truck, and storm at the vault. The graveyard shift is about to start. Pace expects the guards in the lunchroom. They use Pace's key to open the door, and they damage the lock to make it appear as if the door lock has been broken to gain entry. Though Pace has timed it perfectly, his plan still heavily depends on the guards appearing at the very location Pace has expected them to be. Pace's plan is like a crisscross where every thread meshes neatly with others and vice versa. They know their success depends on them performing the heist like an orchestra. Only then can they finish the job in time and return to the party to secure an alibi. The play is already on. The team is in. And the moment is drenched in tension. With Pace in command, the team is absolutely composed. They get into the lunchroom and manage to subdue the guards before they could push the panic button. They tie their limbs with duct tape. One of the crew members keeps a watch on them. The rest invade the office. The staff is still unaware about the intruders. The team pounces on them and gives them no time to react. They make an announcement. Anyone who disobeys the order or tries to be smart will be shot dead. They are made to lie down with faces towards the floor and their hands and legs are tied with duct tapes. During the operation, Pace constantly gives instructions to his group but never mentions their names. One of the staff members recognizes his voice, which he later reveals to the investigating officers. The crew opens the vault door with Pace's having complete information about the vault. Pace knows the exact location of bags with bills of high denomination. Pace informs Boyd through a radio set, get the truck in the loading area. While Boyd is engaged getting the truck to the right spot, a small incident takes place that will expose the team later on. A plastic lens from the tail light comes off and rests on the floor unnoticed. The team inside the vault throws the money in garbage bags and puts the garbage bags in bins and carries the bin to the truck. Then they load the truck as quickly as possible. Pace takes VCR and all the recordings from the guard room. All the incriminating evidence has been removed from the place. The team gets away clean with $18.9 million cash. They get into the car and flash to Pace's apartment. They change their clothes, leave the gear and money there, and join the party in the same casual way, one at a time, within 90 minutes. Nobody notices their absence, and that's how they get a perfect alibi. LAPD immediately dispatches units to the site. The FBI has also been informed. The detectives conduct their preliminary investigation, and they are alarmed by the absence of any physical evidence save the plastic lens. The staff informs the detectives that the assailants moved around in the facility as if they already knew the whole structure of the building. It is also evident that the robbers knew where the company installed its video surveillance recorders, including a backup machine that was kept hidden inside a secret cupboard at the end of the vault. Keeping in perspective the perfection of the heist in such a short time, the detectives swiftly conclude that it was the job of an insider. They take the data of all employees who have been fired close to the heist, and they have already picked Alan Pace as the number one suspect. To further establish their theory, they conduct a lie detector test on 130 dismissed employees. Only 2 people fail, Alan Pace and his girlfriend Tamiko Carnes. Their conclusion is further strengthened by the office worker who has confirmed his voice. Detectives show up at Pace's apartment, which Pace has been expecting. Pace appears very casual. When asked about his whereabouts at the time of the heist, Pace simply shrugs his shoulders and says, "I was at a party." Questioning the participants of the party confirms his claim. The detectives divert their attention to the plastic lens, which they come to know does not belong to Dunbar vehicles. Further investigation reveals that the lens has come off of a U-Haul truck. They contact truck rental companies, but none of the records show Alan Pace's name, since Hill was the one who rented it. The detectives now direct their investigation to other suspects, but nothing could be taken any further. With this, the investigation comes to a sudden halt. The detective agencies even offer a handsome reward of $250,000 for any information about the thieves, but to no effect. FBI and LAPD stop probing the matter anymore. But they keep Alan Pace in scrutiny and look for any sign of the millions that were stolen from the vault. But Pace does not spend beyond his means. He is living the life of an ordinary security guard. They keep waiting, but Alan Pace remains in the same financial status, and eventually the agents lose any hope of finding physical evidence against Pace. What happens to the money? That is another story. Having $18.9 million at one's disposal is something that cannot go unnoticed, and especially when one is being scrutinised by world's best detectives. Pace knows it full well, and he has planned for it very well. So after 6 months, the team starts to launder the dollar, $18.9 million, in the most discreet manner. One wrong step and they will fall off the rocks. They hired the services of David Matsumoto, a Los Angeles immigration attorney, to help them turn their black money white. They also engaged Matsumoto's office manager, Jiaoqun Bin, and paid both of them $1 million. Matsumoto initiates transactions through buying properties and cars, investing in companies in the name of different people who are trusted friends of Pace and his team. He also makes W-2 tax forms to establish that the robbers are earning wages. Boyd takes advantage of his father's business and cleans up to $2 million. Rest of the crew engages in real estate. They purchase plots in the name of their friend whom they could trust. And then comes the time when overconfidence pushes one of them to commit a blunder. It was after 2 years of the heist, Eugene Hill paid one of his friends, a real estate broker, with a stack of cash bound together with the original branded currency straps. The broker noticed the straps and the name Dunbar Armored Cars. The broker happened to know about the robbery and about the reward of $250,000. Greed and loyalty stretched his conscience apart for some moments. And eventually, greed won. He took Hill in confidence and secretly called the police. Police responded quickly. They checked the straps and found the printed date to be the same on which the heist was committed. Hill was caught. His name was searched in the record, and it was found that he had rented a U-Haul on the day of the heist. Hill had no other way but to confess. He named all the perpetrators and divulged every detail of the heist. Investigators corroborated his account and started arresting them one by one. They were convicted for conspiracy, robbery, and money laundering. Alan Pace was sentenced to 24 years in prison on April 23, 2001, and was imprisoned at a federal correctional institution in Safford. He served his term in prison and was released on October 1st, 2020. Boyd got imprisoned for 17 years because of his prior criminal record. The rest of the team testified their involvement and were prisoned up to 10 years. Matsumoto resigned from the state bar. He and Bin were indicted on 71 counts related to money laundering and sentenced to 2.5 years. It was estimated that only $5 million of the stolen money could be recovered, and the rest of the money, amounting to $13.9 million, still unaccounted for. Where is the missing cash right now? Is it still lying somewhere known to Pace? Will Pace return it to the authorities after serving 20 years in prison? Is he still under scrutiny? These are the questions only time can answer.